While control rings have been around the flashlight world for many years, the new PD40R has Fenix's latest take on the switch system. It allows the user to rapidly change modes without needing to reposition their grip or find any buttons. This, coupled with the massive capacity of its 21700 battery, makes this light a no-nonsense workhorse that will cut through the darkness for hours and hours. Because of its rotary switch, the PD40R's user interface is dead simple. Twist right for more light and left for less. There is no need to memorize complex combinations of button clicks or cycle through mode after mode to get the one you want. This switch mechanism has a solid tactile click when rotating, which is reminiscent of a high-end camera lens. Unlike any other button-actuated light, you can access the switch from any angle without needing to change grips or otherwise fumble blindly to find a button. It is also much easier to use when wearing heavy-duty leather gloves. While this ring is nearly perfect, there are still two small issues I've found. First, the pattern milled into the collar does not provide the best traction in wet and slick conditions. When things get slippery, twisting the switch requires a pinch grip with the thumb and forefinger, as well as a little extra effort. Ideally, some knurling or vertical milling would effectively negate this issue by providing some more torsional friction. My second issue is that it's just too easy to bypass turbo and go into the strobe mode. Generally, I rarely have any use for blinky modes and find them to be obtrusive for everyday use. I would love to see this light have either an increased amount of resistance needed to activate the strobe mode, or a more significant gap between the other modes. As far as run times, the PD40R is capable of producing 30 lumens for over 88 hours, 350 lumens for 8.5 hours, and 1000 lumens for a little over 3 hours. Lastly, it will temporarily shine at 3000 lumens on turbo. However, such tremendous lumen outputs come at the cost of a rapid buildup of heat. To prevent damage to the device or injury to the user, manufacturers have to gradually dim high outputs over time as the flashlight gets warmer. On the highest setting, this light does get rather hot, but never uncomfortably so. Ultimately, in turbo, the PD40R will start to dim within about a minute and will eventually settle down at about 1200 lumens. If you do end up using turbo for short bursts without building up too much heat, the light's thermoregulation won't kick in as much, leading to run times that fall short of the reported 2 hours and 40 minutes. While some other purpose-built throwers can illuminate at longer distances with fewer lumens, the PD40R's beam strikes a good balance between long-distance throw and close-up usability. Despite a dense haze in the air, the turbo mode casts its beam well over the claimed 405 meters, and I could still see up to about 450 meters. Strangely enough, the beam pattern of the PD36R is very similar, with the long-range edge going to the PD40R due to its higher turbo mode. Overall, the light's construction is as good as you would expect from any other of Fenix's products. Aside from the lack of a tail switch, the battery compartment is very similar to that of the PD36R, with one major exception: it tail stands. At the other end, the PD40R sports a slightly larger reflector, which helps throw the emitter's lumens downrange just a little bit farther than its little brother. The added heft is certainly noticeable in the pocket, making this light better suited to carry in heavy-duty pants, in the provided holster, or in a backpack. Thankfully, Fenix opted for a single-position pocket clip that is lower profile and less prone to snagging than the one on the PD36R. Thanks to the built-in USB-C charging port, keeping the PD40R running is a straightforward task. Whether you're at home or on the road, you can recharge your PD40R with any power bank, 12-volt car adapter, or wall outlet without needing any bulky chargers. A built-in charge indicator will tell you when it's done recharging, as well as the battery level when switching on the light. Fenix reports this light is IP68 rated and can withstand submersion up to 2 meters deep. Despite this rating, I try to avoid exposing this and any other flashlight with an external charging port to any significant amounts of water. While the rubber plug on the PD40R is secure, it only takes a few specks of dirt to prevent it from sealing completely and letting in moisture. If you take the time to make sure the cap is clean and properly seated when replacing it, you shouldn't have any problems. Overall, the PD40R is a fantastic addition to Fenix's lineup and has become one of my go-to lights for medium and long-range lighting tasks. I've really grown to appreciate its straightforward control ring and large capacity battery, which makes it an excellent choice for no-nonsense jobs. I'm very excited to see Fenix use rotary switches and hope to see them again in the near future, particularly in a small EDC-sized light. If you're in the market for a rugged and straightforward flashlight, the PD40R version 2 is definitely worth your consideration. Thank you all so much for watching, and of course, I would like to extend my gratitude to all the kind folks over at Fenix Lighting USA for sending me this light to review. Stay tuned for some more upcoming gear and flashlight reviews, and as always, stay safe out there.